For this exercise, we'll be, as it says, combining text and objects in Word. So we'll start off. We have to download 4 files from the course website. Can't quite select them, but anyway. And the file that has all of the text is actually just a plain text file. It's not a Word document. If we double click on it, it'll open up a notepad. So we need to open up Word from scratch and just with a blank document, and then from within Word we say File, Open, and we go, mine happened to be on the desktop, we go looking for the document. Now by default you might not see it. By default Word looks just for Word documents under this Files of Type box here. So things that end in .doc, and on Word 2010, .docx. So we have to tell it all files, and that's always the very top item in that list of different possibilities. Once we see that, there's my porcupine caribou herd report.txt, so I'll open that. And now it's still a text file, so I need to make sure that I save it as a Word document. This is very important because all the things I'm about to do, styles, objects, and so forth, don't exist in text documents, only in Word documents. So I have to save as, file, save as. And this time, instead of as save as type, we see in this list here, I'm going to pick, once again, the very top item, Word document. If you're in Word 2010, that would be docx. And I'll just save it on the desktop again. But now it's going to be called porcupine caribou herd report.doc. Notice it changes the extension. Now it is a proper Word document, and I can continue updating it. If you forget that very important step, you may be in trouble later on. So save as Word document. So I'm going to look at my styles, as always, under Format, Styles, and Formatting. And you'll notice that when you import a plain text document, you get a style called plain text. The first thing I want to do is apply the normal style to the entire document. So I'll select all of it. I'll click in it and edit, select all, or Control A, and I'll click on normal. Now the entire document is the normal style. Now it asks us to change the paragraph spacing in the normal style so that this is step 3, every paragraph is followed by 12 points of space. We know how to do that. I'll modify the normal style and change my paragraph, that's where I find spacing, to have 12 points of space after. That gives me a blank line after every paragraph. Spaces it out nice and neat. I'm not using plain text anymore, this style, so I could just delete that. If you find you've got styles over on the right that you don't want to use, you can delete them. If they're built in, you won't be able to delete them. No, that was always. All right, step 4, apply the built-in style title to the first paragraph of the document and the built-in style subtitle to the second paragraph of the document. You can spruce them up as you like. So there's the first one. Paragraph, I don't see the title style, so I have to look for all styles. There's title. And this one will be subtitle. That'll be under S. Subtitle. There we go. Those look fine. I don't see any reason to change them necessarily. And then it says in step 5, so that was step 4. In step 5, apply the built-in style heading 1 to the 4 headings in the document. Each one is a short question. So I'm going to go back to just styles and formatting in use so I can see the, available formatting because I'm not using the heading styles yet. What is happening? I want that to be heading 1. Why is it happening? Heading 1. Again, if you've got a lot of these, you may use a shortcut key, heading 1 and heading 1. There's my 4 paragraphs that I want to be heading 1. Now it mentions that change the paragraph behavior so that Word automatically inserts a page break before each occurrence of the heading 1 style. So I'm going to change the heading 1 style, modify, and when a paragraph interacts with a page break, it'll be under the paragraph settings, the line and page breaks tab of that screen. And here's the magic checkbox, page break before. So every time I get a heading 1, do I put a page break before. The effect of that is every heading 1 is at the top of a new page. I'll say OK and OK. Now I'm currently in the draft view. So, in Word 2003 it's called the normal view, so the page breaks will just show up as these dotted lines. If I was in the print layout view, which gives me a what you see is what you get preview, you'll notice that each heading 1, sure enough, starts a new page. The title and the subtitle are sort of lonely, left all by themselves on the first page. I prefer the normal view because it doesn't waste a lot of my screen with blank space taken up by the space at the bottom of those pages. So I'm going to skip ahead to the next step 6, where it says, now the first heading, what is happening, is occurs on a page all by itself, but that leaves the title and subtitle sort of orphaned on the page before. So for this very first heading, we're just going to change it so that it doesn't have a page break before. I don't want to change this. I don't want to change the style because then none of them will have a page break before. I just want to change this one paragraph, and when you're doing something once, maybe twice, it's fine to do a manual change. Otherwise, we want to use styles. So I'm going to not use styles over here on the right. I'm going to go to the Format menu, Paragraph, because I'm currently on this paragraph, and I'll just undo the page break before for that one paragraph. And now you'll notice the page break is missing. If I was in print layout view, I'll notice my title, subtitle, and heading 1, they're all together on the same page, but the other pages are broken as before. I'll go back to the normal view again. Good. Now, we want to create a new style called image caption based on the normal style that uses a 10-point italicized font, and we'll apply that to this paragraph. So that'll be image caption, and this paragraph, the ones in square brackets that begin with source. So I'll create new styles. We're going to create another style in a second. So I'll do it in 2 different ways just to see what the difference is. So I'll click on this one, and I'll say, this is where I'm going to create it. It's going to be based on normal, so I'll say new style, and it'll be called image caption. So I'll type that in. It's based on normal. I can leave everything else blank. It will use a 10-point italicized font with center-aligned paragraphs. So 10-point, italicized, and center-aligned. I can do that all from that this screen. I don't have to go to Format and then Font or Paragraph, but you can do it that way as well. And I'll say, OK. So I've just created the new style. Notice it's not going to be applied. Here it is over here, image caption, but I haven't actually applied it yet. So I have to apply it to this paragraph, image caption, and I should get rid of those square brackets as it says in the instructions. Those are just so for the exercise. They don't serve any other purpose. Here's the other paragraph. I'll get rid of the square brackets first. Click in the paragraph, image caption. There it is, italicized, small, and centered. Now it says create a new style. This is step 8. Based on the image caption style that you just created that uses a 12-point bold font but without italics. So this time I'm going to do it a little differently. I'm going to go ahead and just format one of the paragraphs that should be, it'll be called caption title. I'm just going to format it the way it asked for it. So I'm going to do it manually, not with styles, but just manually. It uses 12 points, so it is already 12 point. I'll make it bold and I'll center it. 12-point bold, centered, no italics. And this time I'll say new style. So I've already created it the way I want it. Now I'll say new style, and I'll just name it what I want. Caption title. And OK, that is now the caption title style. I've got to apply it still. There it is, caption title. And I've got to go down here and apply it there, caption title, and get rid of these square brackets. Now in the exercise it says this should be based on image caption. So that's something I didn't do when I created it this way. This is just one way of creating a style. So I'll modify my caption title style, modify, and I'll make sure that it's based on image caption. That way if I change image caption, caption title will change as well. Oh, notice as soon as I did that, it decided to change it a little bit, so I better change my caption title back. Modify, I want it to be not italicized, and I want it to be 12 point. So apparently if you do it that way, you lose a little bit of the settings. You have to redo them. But it was easy enough to recover. All right, step 8. Now we can actually move on to inserting the objects. We've done some styles, created new styles, exactly what you might do on your own in assignments and so forth. But now we'll insert objects. We've got all of our text. I haven't really spiced it up with formatting, but that's fine. And the first thing that we're going to insert is a chart from Microsoft Excel. So I'm going to go to Microsoft Excel here. Here's my chart. I've got it all ready to go. And we're going to just use the clipboard. So I've got it there. I'm going to hit Control-C to copy it to the clipboard. I'm going to return to my Word document, and it says we should insert this right after the caption title that's called Estimated Total Population. So right here, I'm going to insert it. Edit Paste or Control V. It inserts it there. This is going to be inserted inline, so it's just like it's a big letter. It does ask that we, in the next step, that we format this chart so that it's only 6 inches wide. So I'm going to right-click. When you right-click on an object, I can format. It's going to call it a picture because I just pasted it as a picture. I'm going to change the size, the width, to 6 inches. Oh, I'll just type in 6. And OK. Now it will be, if I'll go to Print Layout View just to look at what this will look like, it will be just a piece of text. Whatever style that paragraph had, because that is a paragraph with an image in it, picture in it, and it turns out it's the caption title style. The caption title style is centered, so my image is centered as well. I won't turn bold, it won't turn change font size or anything because you can't do that to pictures, but it will do some of the paragraph things such as spacing, centering, and alignment and so forth. So there's a simple chart. Now it asks us to put in a couple of images, and this is after our second caption title. So I'll just make some space. I'll put enter. Notice I've got a new paragraph which is still caption title, so it's going to be centered, and if I was to type something it would be bold as well. I'm not actually going to type, I'm just going to insert pictures, and to do that, those are files on my desktop. I'll go to Insert, Picture, From File. Those are other ways of inserting pictures, but I've got files ready to go, and they're on my desktop. And there's one, the 1985. I'll click Insert, and then I'll just put a few spaces in, just to space my images apart. Sort of cheating, I suppose, a little bit, but nothing serious. Insert Picture, From File, and there's my other one, 1987. And because they're just inserted inline, if I put spaces, the spaces appear between them. But overall, that whole paragraph with those two images, just as if they're two large letters, is centered on the page. I'll go back to my normal view to see them a little bit bigger. All right, now we need to, the last object we're going to insert is a table. So we'll do that quickly. And that is step 12 if you're following along. And it says insert the new table at the Why Is It Significant chapter. So I'm going to insert my table there. It's a very regular table, so I'm going to go to Table, Insert Table. I'm not going to draw one by hand. I'm just going to insert a very regular table with so many columns, so many rows. It has actually 2 columns and 5 rows. And we'll put that in. Oh, it asks us to put a little bit of text before the table. Go recent estimated herd population, and we should format that as caption title. So there we go, nice and centered. And we need a new style called table data based on the normal style. So I'll create it the old-fashioned way, new style that does not have the 12 points of space following. So I'm going to call it table data. And the only difference between it and normal is it doesn't have 12 points of spacing. So I'm going to reset this back to 0. It's based on normal, so it's everything else that normal is. And OK. So there's my new table data style. I'll select everything in my table, click table data. There we go. It got rid of that extra space. That's why I wanted to do that. I'll select the table, and I always find it go to Table, Select Table is the easiest way to do that. Right click and choose Auto Fit to Contents. That'll just resize the table. And then I'll choose right click, Table Properties, and change the horizontal alignment of the table to center. So it's going to be in line, centered, not taking up too much space, and we're done.